Hello and welcome to a Project Cars 2 video where today we'll be doing a multiplayer online race. But before we get into the actual video, the channel has just hit 25,000 subscribers. So I wanted to say a massive thank you to all those who have subscribed to the channel and all those who have watched a video, interacted with any of the videos that have gone up on the channel, whether it's liking it, sharing it or posting a comment. Each little piece of interaction helps to drive the channel forward and help continue its growth. So I wanted to say a really big heartfelt thank you to you all for subscribing to the channel and getting it to that 25,000 subscriber milestone. As part of this thank you, I also wanted to give back to you guys as well, so I've gone and created a Discord server. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below, but feel free to join that, invite your friends to it as well. It will allow me to get closer to you guys and you guys closer to me. You can obviously ask any questions there, look for any setup advice. It'll be a lot easier to discuss those things with multiple people as well rather than just myself, and allow you guys to grow your knowledge and your sim racing ability. We've got all sorts of different channels on the Discord server for various different sim racing games, of course real world motorsport as well. So I created that for you guys to kind of use as a hub for both sim racing and real world racing discussions. So look forward to seeing you guys there on the Discord server. And looking a bit into the future as well, there's a few things in the works that I want to bring to you guys as part of a thank you for supporting the channel as well. So a huge thank you to you all. I hope that you do stick around and help the channel to continue to grow. So now I think it'll probably be a good time to actually get into today's video, where we'll be doing a 2-lap race around the Nürburgring combined circuit. So that's the Nürburgring GP F1 circuit, and then rather than going right at the final turn, you go left and onto the actual Nordschleife. So this is the setup that I'm going to be using, driving the BMW M6 GT3 car. This is an old setup that I had from quite a while ago, so not entirely sure or 100% sold on how good it actually is. It felt alright in qualifying. Obviously I would have created the setup previously and have saved it and kept it, so it should be reasonably good. I just saw the fuel there as well. It's a little bit high for the length of the race that we're going to be doing, so just adjusting that accordingly before going to the actual grid. And as you can see, we're kind of in a dawn time of day setting at the moment, starting in 6th position on the grid, so kind of near the front. Hopefully we can stay away from all the crazies and actually get a good, decent, clean start. But the dawn conditions, they'll also make for an interesting challenge. Obviously it will be quite nice and pretty as well. I haven't actually raced in the night or in these kind of conditions around the Nordschleife in Project Cars 2. So here we are going to the grid. I'll be looking for a decent start using the TrackIR 5 as well. It's allowing the head movement. First gear, dumping the clutch, and we just completely bogged down on the line. That's not going to be a good start for us. We're going to end up getting swamped. Got a car here on my right hand side, and I believe there's cars over to my left. There's one of them, Ferrari. So just hoping for a good clean run through turn 1. Hearing some crunches on the right. Seem to be okay though, coming out through the exit, kind of almost a 3 wide situation, so kind of going to semi back out of that. Just take the usual racing line. That Audi's slow. There he was in the rear view mirror, so I was able to take the apex there. But we're up into P4, so a good start so far. And now right on the back of this very white Ferrari, so let's see if we can try and get him coming down into this hairpin. Holding a nice tight line, now up into 3rd. So a good start from 6th to 3rd in the first half of the lap. Well, even less than half of the lap, because obviously we're only on the F1 circuit at the moment. I actually got to the Nordschleife section yet, but the 2 front runners, see them up there in front of us. There's a bit of a gap between myself and them, so we need to try and close up on them and stop them from running away with it. Just to note, I am on the soft tyres, as the track temperature was quite low, and in qualifying the conditions stayed at night time. Oh, there's a little bit of a touch there between the two front runners. I don't want them to take each other out, but that little touch between the two has allowed me to close up on the pair of them a little bit. So a little bit closer now. But yeah, that qualifying session was in pretty much static conditions, which is quite good. But I can already tell that the lighting is starting to change a little bit in this race, which means there is some time acceleration, which could make for some interesting moments later on when the sun does actually peer up over the horizon, actually gets higher up into the sky. It's obviously going to start heating up the track, and I think it could end up struggling a little bit on those soft tyres. So we're going to have to babysit and look after those a little bit. So come up through Flugplatz, get a decent run through there. Obviously these straighter sections will allow the soft tyres to cool down a little bit. You can already see that rear left. It was up near 95 degrees, above 95 degrees is where the tyre grip will start to drop off, so need to let it cool a little bit. Just waiting for the car to hook up in towards the apex, didn't quite do that. And yeah, you can definitely see the sun has risen up above the horizon, so we're going to have to deal with some change in track temperature. But the front two pulling a little bit of a gap, so try and push a little bit through here and close that gap back down again. A pretty decent run through that. Got that gap to around about a second and a half to the leader. Hooking up the apexes quite nicely. Down into second, try and tuck the car into the corner. Try and hook ourselves in here, stay mostly flat. Just a slight breathe on the throttle. I want to miss, didn't really hit the apex that I wanted to. Down into first gear, avoid that large curb on the inside. Decent run through, but I'm trying not to push the tyres too hard. You can already see the tyres are actually starting to overheat pretty much all the way around, apart from that front right. The front right tyre is the only one that's kind of in the low 90s, but that rear left is looking very hot, above 100 degrees, so you're going to need to be careful in the traction zones. Avoid any oversteer. Getting nicely hooked into the apex there, closed up a couple of car lengths on the two leaders in front of us. So hopefully we can pick up a little bit of slipstream coming down this straighter section. It will also allow the tyres to cool off a little bit too. Yeah, you can definitely see the slipstreams starting to work now as we're reeling the two cars in quite nicely. So they're very close together. The yellow Ferrari looking to try and get past the red one. Yellow Ferrari going a little bit deeper onto the grass. That's going to be us up into P2. Just about, yep. So we're now into P2. But now I need to be careful with the tyres, because after the carousel here, it's pretty much just corner after corner after corner, and it's obviously going to coat the tyres, so I need to keep it steady. I need to get a good run through the carousel. And I was alright through there, but that Ferrari looked a little bit quicker. Managed to close up onto the back of me there. So now, time to babysit the tyres, but obviously try and keep with the guy in front of us as well, and hold P3 at bay. Slight bit of oversteer there coming up for the exit. P1's a little bit deep. Was able to close up a couple of car lengths, but not able to do much with it. Much neater and tidier line through there. Not really troubling the curbs too much, despite the fact that I probably could have used them if I really wanted to. Some oversteer. Managed to hold on to that quite nicely. Now kind of coming down in through YouTube corner. Decent run through there, but the yellow Ferrari's all over the back of me. Just looking to my inside, so give him the slight squeeze in on the apex a little bit. It probably was just about enough room there for him to make the move if he really wanted to, but I did make it tight in a defensive attempt to hold on to P2, which worked quite nicely. Oh, catching a curve on the inside there, lifting the left hand side of the car up through Flugplatz 2, but we managed to survive that without any real drama. Oh, that's a tap on the rear. Got bumped by the yellow Ferrari behind, but held on to that. Losing touch to the leader slightly. And getting the mini carousel so wrong. Carrying just that little bit too much speed through, and that's us losing P2. So we're now down into P3. I'll try and get a decent run off of here though. Let's use the slipstream of the two Ferraris in front. I imagine that the yellow 488 will get the slipstream off of the red one. And obviously we're going to get a slipstream off of the yellow one as well. So again, quite high up in the rev range. 281. As we're coming towards the Bilstein Bridge. They're going for a change of position though. Leaders have swapped round. So the yellow car's now leading, as you can see. 291 kilometers an hour on the dip, so take it steady through here. Let's get down through the gears. Let's hook up the two corners. Slight jump there as we rejoin the GP circuit. So now we're on to the final lap, and we're in a pretty good position. P3, close to P1 and 2. Let's see what we can do. Oh, P2's going for the move on P1. Both of them going really deep. Try and cash in on this battle as well. Coming out through the exit, the yellow Ferrari's there somewhere on my left. Oh, there he is in the rearview mirror. Must have had some oversteer on the exit of turn 2. So we're now up into P2. It's just a case of getting close to P1. Trying to stick with him. But I do also want to try and look after these soft tyres, because obviously the sun is well up in the sky. It'll be cooking the circuit. Track temperature will be increasing, and obviously the soft tyres aren't going to fare well with the warmer track temperatures than I was expecting. So we're going to have to look after these where we can. Taking the curve quite nicely, both inside and outside. We're just getting some understeer from the mid corner and out to the exit. There's the issue with the soft tyres in these warmer conditions. They just don't quite provide the bite that you're after. Oh, there's quite a bit of oversteer there coming through the faster chicane. Managed to hold on to it though. A little bit more oversteer there, so the rear tyres are really starting to struggle. No, 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 no. Hold the brake. Oh, a little bit of contact there. I tried to hold the brake a little bit. The car did roll backwards slightly. But that's obviously a very costly mistake. Down into P3. He's pulled over. And let me go back through to P2. Not entirely sure why. He's got a 1 second penalty. Could maybe have been a position handback penalty. That was quite a bit of oversteer. Very glad I managed to hold on to that one. Ooh, and that one too. Very, very close there to losing the rears. You could see why, because the rear tyre temperatures are very, very high. I was up at 110 just a second ago on that rear left. I should get a little bit of rest now though. Coming down this straighter section with just these really small, minor, completely flat out sweeping corners. But yeah, we're now quite a bit off of the leader. So we're going to need to try and push to close back up, but of course I obviously want to try and look after the tyres a little bit as well and try and get them back into some lower temps so they're not overheating quite as much. So it's going to be a challenge in itself. Seems P3's dropped off the back of me a little bit. So let's try and get another good run through here, like we did on the previous lap. Oh, probably could have done away with not touching that inside curb, but no real harm done. It's a double take turning in on that corner, didn't really get the line quite right. Good run through there though. P3's completely disappeared. He's fallen well off the back of us, can't even see him in the rearview mirror now. So the pressure's off from behind, it's just a case of focusing on the tyres and on the leader as well. It's just trying to manage any potential wheel spin coming out over that crest, up the axle of that right-hander, as the rear usually does get light. Instead I kind of got caught up on the curb a little bit, which hindered the acceleration coming off the corner slightly, but still facing in the right direction and still going forward, which is good. So there's a bit of a gap to the leader at the moment. Try and close that down. Obviously a good opportunity for the tyres to cool coming down here, or coming up here shall I say, as we're gaining in altitude rather than going downhill. We're going to need to push through all the twisty bits, so I think the tyres will probably end up taking a little bit of punishment. So now just coming into the carousel, get down in second gear, get the car tucked in. Wasn't the tidiest of entries and almost popped out up over the top on the exit, which wouldn't have been good. That would have been a whole bunch of time lost. But yeah, it's now time to push the tyres a little, see if we can close that gap to the leader. Get aggressive with the curbs coming through this left-right. So I ride that one, absolutely smack the inside of that right-hander one quite nicely through there. Just letting the car flow through, although the front tyre is not really providing the bite that I want, and just slowly washing out wide, wider than I want it to be. Again there as well, you can see the tyres over 100 degrees in 3 of the 4 corners. Attacking F.O.O.L. Oh sorry, Flatsgarden, coming into Flatsgarden 2. F.O.O.L. is quite a bit earlier on in the lap. Get my corner names mixed up slightly there. With the gap that we have now, around about 4 seconds, I don't think we're going to be close enough to the leader. Into the Kleiner carousel, much better run through there that time. There's the leader, finally seeing him visually. So unless he makes a mistake in basically the final turns, there's no way in hell that I'm going to be able to catch him. No way near close enough to get the slipstream down here. So it's just pure raw top speed. It's going to allow me to close in on him, unless he's got better straight line performance and a lower downforce setup than I have. 275 in a dip this time. And into the final turn now. Get it slowed down. In through quite nicely, but it seems like the leaders held it together, so we're going to come home in P2. Pretty happy with that one. That was quite a good fun race. Nice to use the full Nürburgring combined circuit, and it's always a good joy to drive the GT3 cars around there as well. A lot of fun. So yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. Thank you very much for getting the channel to 25,000 subscribers. If you are looking for more Project Cars 2 content, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any videos in the future. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. I shall try and get back to you as soon as possible. And also, of course, feel free to join the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. You guys can see the content there, get closer to interacting with me, and obviously allow me to get closer to you guys as well. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I shall catch you in the next video as we're doing some rather lovely donuts. But in the meantime, have fun, stay safe, and take care.